the power and the weapon of prayer. Just want to give you maybe 3 just to put in your spirit as a child of God. I want you to know that failure to pray is failure in all of life. Failure to pray. Failure to pray. I want you to know this. Failure to pray is failure in all of life. It is failure of duty, failure of service, and failure of spiritual progress. I say it again. Failure to pray is failure in all of life. It is failure of duty, service, and spiritual progress. So there is no spiritual progress without prayer. You can't do the duty of this kingdom without prayer. You can't serve God in this kingdom without prayer. Amen. Number 2. He who does not pray robs himself of God's help. He who does not pray robs himself of God's help. That means if you can't pray, you can't receive the help of God. Amen. And places God where he cannot help people. That means you make God to be helpless in your case when you don't pray. As we are rounding off, going off this year, God is interested in raising people, not just multitude. God is making it personal, because this kingdom cannot expand without spirituality. Is dependent on spirituality. If our eyes does not open in the place of prayer, we will be so materialistic and full of the flesh. We will be full of the things of this world. It is in the place of prayer that you begin to see heavenly vision. The vision God has for you and for your family. Don't forget what I'm telling you. It is in the place of prayer that he opens your eyes to know his plan for you. If not that, we will be full of materialism. We'll be full of the things of this world. And that is where there is this man I listened to. He's a popular man in this land. And goes back on. How many of us know him? He said he saw in a vision that the devil put a long ladder and is now climbing into the heart of God's people. He is now coming into their life because they are not spiritually aware of what is happening. When we don't pray, we place God where he cannot help people. The last one for today. We must pray to God. If love for God is to exist, we must pray to God. If love for God is to exist, I tell you, without prayer, you can't love God. It doesn't, that is why I said God is raising disciples and sons. So God is not just after what we are doing, He's after your relationship with Him. If you can't pray, forget it. You can't love God. They will be forcing you to do everything for God. I've never seen a husband that loves his wife, that they remind what to do for the wife. It doesn't work like that. Love for God happens in the place of prayer. If our love for God must exist, there must be a prayer life. Is God speaking to somebody tonight? That is what, because these are the studies that I do. Immediately I finish, God said, sprayed 3. If your love for God must exist, there must be prayer life. In the season we are in, from what we have been seeing from Sunday, there is a call for intimacy. You can't love God if you don't pray. The devil will disarm you and you think that you are still in charge. But you are not aware that you have been disarmed. You have time for everything, but you don't have time to pray. As a child of God, is spiritual disarmament. The person control over him. Child of God, in the season we are in, God is in to train His people as soldiers indeed, so that we can understand what He wants from us. Everything we are doing, we don't have. I was speaking to my neighbor this evening. I said, nobody has power of his own, because you can't control the breath. No matter how powerful you are, you can't determine the time you breathe or not. It all comes from God. So why do we boast? Why do we play God and treat God as if we are His owner? That song we are singing, it opens my eyes more and more. You are great. You do miracles that are so great. It is in the place of prayer you will see the greatness of God. That is where you will build patience. That is where you will build joy. That is where you will build love. In His presence. Because as we behold Him, we continue to look like Him.